Reignite your intuition to show to grow your intuitive self. Today I talk about who is. My name is Angela and I'm a highly intuitive person by birth. What makes me the expert in supporting you regaining your intuition. As a psychic life coach, it is my passion to support people by becoming themselves. Trusting fully your intuition takes time and it's a very individual process. I share with you my knowledge and hands-on strategies that I have developed to support you in your daily basis. You can invest 30 minutes of your lifetime to schedule a free call with me, or actually you invest just a minute to schedule it and 30 minutes with me to reschedule your own life if you feel like. Well, in the German language we have this word called Mann. If it's M-A-N, that means whomever. If it's M-A-N-N, it means man. So we're talking about Mann, which means M-A-N. Who is this, others, or Mann, or just you don't do this. Who said you don't do this? And we shouldn't do that. Why shouldn't we do that? Who decided that we are not supposed to do things? Or we are not allowed, or it's embarrassing, or whatever. People who know me know that I love historical stuff. I think history is amazing. And what I think is pretty funny is a lot of people who speak English or even other languages, because it has been translated to I don't know how many languages, love Downton Abbey. One of the reasons why I love Downton Abbey is because it is extremely close to reality due to the way how people are interacting with each other from their position, if they're whatever lords, ladies, or just footmen or whatever. So the point is, who set these rules? And not long ago I saw documentation about Queen Victoria, which was an amazing person, but on the other side, a pretty big egoist. And I think it's rather astonishing that they had the intention to pretend to be an absolutely normal family. And for example, these kids learned to cook. The girls, of course, not the boys, but at least. So they learned something they were not supposed to learn because they don't do that. The commoners do that. And somehow this whole they do or they don't, we took over in our regular world, and we have this they do, they don't. So therefore I am a tiny bit, I wouldn't say confused, but so far unhappy about this, that we started to say they do, they don't. Who is they, and why are they allowed to be like that? If someone told me just don't do it and I asked why, the answer was just because, and this is not an answer. And I love when children, they're asking all these questions: why, what, where, who, her, They want to know what's going on, and I really like that, because that's how you learn. And on the other side, I know a movie that's actually having the title Because I Said So. And the movie itself, it's very funny, and it has, of course, a happy end. But as a matter of fact, the answer "because I said so" is very often an answer a mother gives. And in this movie, this mother is well known to say "because I said so." And this is just no reason. So if you ask a question, if you're questioning something, if you want to know more, don't forget to take the energy and be like, hey, what's going on? Why is it like that? Who said so? What's going on here, there, whatever? And I think it's for you personally important. So you look in the mirror and you know who you are. And never accept the answer "because I said so." I want to understand things. I want to look behind things. And there is moments people can't explain you something. Yes, that's okay. Because you feel the difference between I don't want to explain you at the moment, or I just can't because I can't explain it. Like, for example, in my work, as an example, there was this moment when I asked the lady, look, I see a man, but this man has nothing, is not related to your family. And further on, we figured that due to the story that they told in her village about this man, she got some unfortunate stops in her life, or let's call it blockades or whatever. So I can't explain you why I see a man in this moment. I just can't. You can ask me why, and I can tell you no idea. And if you ask me what happens if something like this happens, I can explain you as far as I can, be like, okay, look, I get into the topic, I look at the topic, I try to support what's going on, I try to look at what's going on, but as a matter of fact, I just don't know why this man appears in my, let's call it, inside TV. It's just, I know that I start to try to dig into a topic, and then why a certain image appears, no idea. Why I get through that image the answer, no idea. It's a gift, or it's a universal rule, or whatever. And they might say I'm a witch, but that's okay, because I'm a good one. But that's the they. And if you when I just realized, I said, they might say I'm a witch. Not long ago, people got burned as an excuse because they were witches, which they were not. They got pressed out to say they are, and to blame others that they joined, just because some people thought it's a nice idea to be an idiot. Did they get the approval from someone? No, they just took it. So be aware of the fact that they might just don't know. When I look in our world in politic fields, I'm not saying a lot about politicians in my show, but probably it's time. Why are they allowed to behave like that? I love the fact that people are on streets demonstrating. I love the fact that people discuss things. I don't like it when it's going to happen with guns, because that's as stupid as some politicians are. And that's not the smart way. I like the smart way. Use your brain. And I really think it's important to be close to who you are. But on the other hand, it's also very important to question those who is them. To question before you just start to act. Like, for example, nobody's perfect. And if we go back to politicians, we know that they're not. One of the most discussed politicians that I must agree I would rather run myself than vote for that person, did one thing that we underestimated. He said he'll do things, and nobody believed him, because politicians are normal to say they do things and then they don't, and he at least tried to do them. Of course, they were ridiculous and just no discussion about the topic, but as a matter of fact, this person all of a sudden became them, because he said so he did it, or he at least tried it. Fortunately, he did not go through it with them, or with all of them, let's say it that way. But that's something like, we don't listen to them anymore because we don't trust them anyways, and they're lying anyways. They who are running our countries. I'm at home in a totally political different thing than most others, because in Switzerland we have the, as I call them, with a lot of love in it, the 7 dwarfs. Because we have 7 people who are running, and every year the president changes. We don't have one major president, he's just the president of the group. Personally, I think that's the best system, but guess what? I grew up with it. Meanwhile, I'm not sure anymore, but I must admit at least we have so far so good politicians. None of them is perfect. But they say at the moment, or they said back in a few weeks ago, we were not supposed to go out. We had to lock down our businesses. It ruined some of us. They gave us some money. I'm pretty angry personally about the fact how much I got and how much the big ones get, but that's something totally different. But they said that's how it works. And there are people questioning this they said, and who is they? So always question that point. If it's with the politicians, well, that's something that's the easiest to explain it with. That's why I choose that one. Is it at school? When your child's coming home and says, my teacher said, why did they say so? Did they question what's behind? And no, Google and Wikipedia does not know everything, okay? You really need to dig deep to always know answers. Not long ago, I watched the movie Frozen 2 with my friend. She wished to do so. So I said, yeah, well, usually I don't watch a second movie when the first one was good. And there they said that turtles can breathe through their butt. And I was like, wait a second, what? They can breathe through their butt? Awesome, I gotta Google that one. And I got the answer. Some turtles are able to breathe through their butt. And then I figured, wait, they are not allowed to put in such movies, even if it's a kids movie, things that are not true. Because we are so far in the meanwhile that when we watch something, we believe it. And some of us are not even able to differentiate between a movie and documentation. And do me the favor, always question who is, them or they or man, and never just take it for granted. Always look behind the scene. And by the way, look behind your own scenes as well. Lets you grow tons and very easily. Are you ready for being you? Yeah? Then go to angelahack.com, work with me. There you find the button to book the 30-minute call. You find the link right up top. Thank you for listening to Reignite Your Intuition.